Hey, friends. Welcome back to another live. I am thrilled that you are joining me today because today we are going to be talking about going from one on one coaching success into a group program launch and why in the world that is so dang hard. So, if you are a one on one coach and you've created success in your one on one coaching program, right? Like you've served several clients, maybe you've even hit six figures, right? And you are now looking to launch a group program in Q1 of 2023. You want to hit some really great revenue markers. You're looking at like maybe 50K, 75, 100K in launch revenue from that group program launch that you're wanting to do in January. This is the live for you. Welcome. This is the first time that you are joining me. I am Chelsea, the launch copy coach, and I help one-on-one coaches transition their six-figure success into a 50 to 100K group program launch without losing their minds. Because let's be real, you can lose your mind, you can lose your health, you can lose your peace, you can lose your sanity, you can lose so many things when you decide to launch a group program. Okay. And so I'm thrilled to share this information with you today because it is not easy and there are reasons for that. And so today I kind of want to break down for you the three factors that make this difficult, right? The number one counterintuitive thing that you can actually do right now, you can start doing it right now in order to really start to turn things around and make it a bit easier on yourself, make this transition a bit easier on yourself. And then finally, the 6 questions that you need to be asking yourself as you do that thing that I just talked about, that counterintuitive thing, and how those questions can help you move forward. So if that's sounding good to you, stick around. Today's going to be a really great one. All right. So let's dive right in. Why is this so hard? Chelsea, please tell me, why is this so dang hard? There are 3 reasons. Reason number one is related to launch strategy. So, and I talked about this in my live yesterday. So if you're able to catch the video before this one, whether you are, no matter what platform you're on, the video right before this one, I kind of broke down what it is about launch strategy that you need to be thinking about and why it can tend to be so hard, and what the difficulties are around launch strategy. But let's face it, there are tons of marketers online, and they're all telling us which strategies work best and why they work, and they're so brilliant at their marketing and so great at their messaging and their positioning in their funnels that it makes it very easy to get conflicting information and get overwhelmed, right? You have this person telling you this person telling you that, this person telling you that, this person telling you that, this angel on your shoulder over here, this devil on your shoulder over here, another angel, another devil, and you're just like, who do I listen to? What the bleepy bleep 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 do I do? Somebody just like help me make this decision because this is not productive. All of this information all at once. Hey, Amber, all of this information all at once is just not productive, right? It's really difficult, especially if you feel like you're not a marketer, if you feel like marketing is not necessarily your strong suit, to be hearing all of these launch strategies and launch ideas being thrown at you, be seeing some of the amazing people that you admire online launch in a specific way, and you start thinking, oh, I should do that, but maybe she's doing this, so maybe I should try that too. Oh, but maybe like that seemed to really work for her, so how do I know that I shouldn't try that? How in the world do you make the decision? That's one of the reasons why it's difficult, fam, is because there's so much overload, there's so much information out here, there's so much overwhelm, and everybody wants you to buy their product. So they're not going to tell you that this launch strategy is not a good fit for you if XYZ. Okay? They're not necessarily going to give you that information because they want you to buy their thing. And chances are, here's the horrible part, chances are all of the things that you are watching and thinking, oh, I should maybe try that or that or that, could work for you. That's the part that's crazy. Is that all of these launch strategies might work for you in some way, shape, or form. It depends on how you define work, right? And so that's one of the reasons why it's hard. Is there's so many launch strategies out here, so many options, there's information overwhelm, and so you don't know which launch strategy to use as you are transitioning from launching a one-on-one program into a group program, because it's just like, what do I pick? Which one will be the best fit for putting my group program out there? The second reason and the second factor that makes it difficult, right, is the messaging piece of it. So many of us are not copywriters, fam. And I'm saying that as a copywriter myself, who's also not a good copywriter for my own stuff sometimes, okay? Because it's so easy to get so close to our messaging that we just get so excited about the thing that we think people need to know, the thing that we ourselves are learning, the important piece of information that we feel like, oh my gosh, you all need this right now. And we start speaking jargon at people. We start getting excited about our own journeys and sharing from that place. And it's not that those things aren't valuable. Don't get me wrong. They are. And a lot of the time, people love to see your journey. And so they will resonate with what you are saying. And they will look at you as an authority and an expert. But the question may or may not be, are you an authority? Are you an expert? That may not be the question for them, because they might already be following you, right? They might have wanted to join your one-on-one program and just haven't taken the leap yet. They might have been following you for a little bit. They might have just found you. And so because of the way you're speaking and because of the content you're sharing, because you're really being authentic and true to yourself, the question is not, oh, do I like her? Or, oh, is she, an authority in her field? The question might be, should I actually buy her program? Is her program for me? And because you are so close to your own brand, your own content, your own business, your own offer, your messaging is not actually creating opportunities for them to make a buying decision. It's creating opportunities for them to like you. It's creating opportunities for them to trust you as an authority. It's not creating opportunities for them to buy your thing. And there's a slight difference there. Okay. And so and the difficult part about this is how close we are. That's what makes this so hard. Is we're so close. So it's easy to not realize, oh, I'm not saying the thing that they need to hear. I'm not saying the thing that will actually help them decide, is this for me? Is this not for me? And sometimes, hear me, sometimes it's not just telling them all the things that are inside your program. Sometimes it's helping them to shift the beliefs around what they can or cannot do, what's easy or hard for them. It's helping them to shift the beliefs around maybe what they've tried before that hasn't worked. It's helping them to shift the beliefs around why your offer, your type of offer, is the best next step for them versus another type of offer. For example, why a group program around boundaries and overcoming trauma is a better fit for them than a one-on-one session with you, right? Like, it's those kinds of information and that kind of copy and content and messaging and positioning that they need. They don't necessarily need to see what's all in your program. Maybe if you have a sales page, chances are they've read that before. If they've been on your email sequence, chances are they know that information. But that information alone is not going to help them to make a buying decision, and you don't realize because you're so close. So that's the second thing that makes this transition difficult. Okay? It's not easy, and this is the second reason why. The third reason why it's not always easy to transition into a group program launch and make bank, coming from a successful one-on-one coach who's probably made 6 figures before, is your energy. You are in a brand new phase of business to you, fam. Let's just be real. You are still new to this. You ain't true to this yet. Okay? And what that means is you are calibrating and reorganizing and normalizing, like holding the energy of operating in this space. And that sounds like really nebulous and woo, but the truth is, practically speaking, it takes more from you, right, to hold the energy of being a 6-figure business owner than it does take to hold the energy of being a 5-figure business owner. It just takes more from you, right? You're serving more clients, right? You probably have maybe one or two more team members that you're supporting. And in the back of your mind is this thought process that, oh, I'm really growing in my business. Like I'm really hitting all the mile markers. Shoot, is this actually for real? Did I just like do this, or is this a fluke? Is this like maybe I just hit 6 figures and this isn't actually real? Let me just like keep it on the down low and not really tell anybody about it because I'm not really sure if I can replicate this success, and I'm not really sure if I can do this with a group program, and I might just launch the group program and make no sales at all because nobody wants a group program from me. Like there's all these things in the back of our mind, right? On top of the fact that life still goes on. Hello, we still have families, we still have friends, we still have loved ones, we still have demands on our time and energy outside of our businesses, right? That we have to show up for, that we want to show up for. And sometimes it's so difficult to give energy to life and give energy to business and manage all the voices in the back of our head at the same time. Right? It's a lot. And we are now calibrating and normalizing, operating and harmonizing all of these things at the same dang time. And what they don't tell you is that you build your business to a certain point, and then all of a sudden, it's just like, oh, I didn't realize that this was what I was building. Anybody ever felt that way? I've spoken to so many of my clients who are like, this is not the business I intended to build. This is not the way that I wanted to serve people. I didn't want to be launching and not have time for my family. I didn't want to be getting on sales calls, like 17 calls a day in my business, 3 days a week. I didn't want to be draining myself and my energy trying to show up for just lunch with my friends, trying to like actually just schedule a time for lunch versus all this never-ending to-do list of things that I have in my business. So managing all of that is not the easiest thing. Calibrating to all of that, harmonizing all of that, normalizing the energy output, right? That is happening at this new level is not easy either. Okay. So those three factors, the strategy, the messaging, and the energetic capacity that you now have to navigate, make the whole thing not easy. All three of those make this entire process of transitioning from one-on-one coaching success into launching a group program to like a 50 to 100K group program. It makes this process hard, right? But not only do those three things make it hard, now you're here to find out, okay, Chelsea, I know why it's hard. I get you. I resonate with everything that you're saying. I hear you. Yes, I'm on board. I feel all of this. But what do I need to do about it, right? How do I make it easier? Somebody please tell me, Chelsea, you're on this live. Tell me now. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to tell you. There's one thing that you can start to do today that can make this process of transition easier for you, right? And I'm going to give you that one thing. And it seems counterintuitive because it will sound like I'm going to make you do more work. It will sound like I'm going to actually make you do more work. And so it's a little bit counterintuitive, but I want you to hear me out. And I want you to give this thing that I'm going to share with you a try, in addition to the 6 questions that I'm going to share with you today, okay? So the counterintuitive thing that I am going to suggest that you start doing today to make this process easier for yourself is tracking. You heard that right? It's tracking. Tracking your time, tracking your energy, and tracking your results, okay? How much time are you investing? How much energy are you investing? And what are your results? That's the counterintuitive thing that I want you to start to do. So let's break this down. What do I mean by tracking your time, tracking your energy, tracking your results? These are the questions you need to ask yourself. These are the 6 questions that you need to tackle and kind of begin to get real honest with yourself about in order to start making this transition process easier for yourself. Okay. Question number one: how much time am I spending total in my business? You can break this down by marketing, operations and admin, finances and sales, and like client delivery. You can break this down into different pieces, right? But I also want you to look at it as a whole. How much time am I investing also in my business versus on my business? Because there's also a difference in that, right? How much time am I pouring in? Okay. Second question: do I actually want to be investing that time? Because, like I was saying before, some of us are investing way more time than we intended to be investing in our businesses. And it's important for us to recognize, yeah, I don't really, this isn't what I actually wanted. This is not what I wanted, right? And so I encourage you to really start to think about how much time am I investing on the individual projects and tasks in my business rather, and how much time total? First question. Second question: do I actually want to be investing that time? Do I want it? Right? Third question: how much energy am I investing in my business? And this is a bit harder to track, but just to give you a quick tip, and this is kind of how I track this with my clients inside my program, Six Figure Synergy. What I do is, on a scale of 1 to 10, I get them to rate how much energy a particular activity, task, or project is taking from them. So, for example, if we think about sales calls, how much energy is one sales call taking from you on a scale of 1 to 10? I don't know if you're hearing that thunder right now, but there's thunder in the background because it's raining. How much energy are they investing on a scale of 1 to 10? Is it easy for them to do a sales call, so it's kind of like level 1 energy? Or does it take so much from them to do a sales call, so it's like level 10 energy, right? You kind of have to figure that out for yourself. And this is a very subjective process. Bear that in mind. So I am not saying that there's a right or wrong answer here, but measure it for yourself. Like, track your day-to-day actions in your business and rate. If you just want to make a note of when you start a new thing, right? And then at the end of the day, just go through and kind of say for yourself, okay, how much energy did it take to make this social media post, to do this live, to get on this coaching call, to get on this sales call, to make this reel? How much energy did it take to write this email, right? To finish up the sales page, to work on this funnel? How much energy did it take for me to deliver for this client, to write this report, right? Just rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being low, 10 being high, and track that and see how much energy am I actually expending on average in my business on a day-to-day basis. Because I guarantee you're gonna be shocked. It's gonna shock you, because you're gonna feel, and you may have been feeling drained, but you may not have realized why you're feeling drained. And now you'll be able to identify, oh shoot, whenever I get on a sales call, I drop like 5 whole energy points. If I was at a 10 before, I'm now at a 5. If I was at an 8 before, I'm at a 3. If I was at a 6, I am out for the rest of the day. Wrap me up in a blanket, lay me down, good night. Right? And you will be able to see that by tracking that energy expenditure. And then question number 4 related to that is, do you actually want to be expending that energy? Because it's one thing to track it. It's another thing to say, oh shoot, this is not actually what I wanted. This is not what I wanted, right? And once you are able to then identify, am I like actually wanting to expend this energy here? Then you can say, okay, I know then that any launch strategy, any messaging strategy that I hear and that I see maybe somebody that I admire implementing in their own business that's really working for them, but it's going to take a lot of energy from me, I know that I probably won't be able to do that because it's not going to align with why and what I'm saying I want to build, right? In relation to the time piece, if you see somebody doing a launch strategy that's going to last them like 8 whole weeks or 12 weeks, right? And when I say launch strategy, I don't mean the prep. I mean doors open, right? Doors are open for 8 weeks. Doors are open for 12 weeks. Like, it's a long doors open, right? Or it's too short a doors open, and that's too short an energy and a time expenditure for you, like you can then assess, is this the time I want to spend? Is this the time I don't want to spend? Is this the energy I want to spend? Is this the energy I don't want to spend? But the only way you can actually assess those questions in relation to your launch, in relation to the three factors we talked about, right? Your launch strategy, your messaging, and your energy, is if you actually track it first. Which is why I told you, track first, right? This is a counterintuitive thing because it might seem like more work, but it's actually giving you the tools that you need. It's giving you the knowledge and the awareness that you need to then decide, oh, this time expenditure is not going to work for me. This energy expenditure is not going to work for me, right? And then finally, rather the fifth question, not finally, there's one more question. The fifth question that you want to be looking into and tracking is, and paying attention to, is what are the results that I'm creating from the time I'm expending in my business and the energy that I'm expending in my business. Okay, so if you wrote down that it's taking you an hour to write an email, and from that email you generated like a 50% open rate, 3% click through, and one sale, you have a result right there. And that one sale might be worth, I don't know, $1,000 in your business, $1,500, $2,000 in your business, right? Maybe it's actually that you generated one sales call or 5 sales calls, and each of those sales calls converts into, out of 5, you convert 2 clients. So you have like, what is that, 40% close rate on your sales calls, which means that the energy and time that it takes you to write one email will yield a result of 2 clients. And maybe each of those clients is worth like $4,000 for you, which is $8,000, right? So assess the result in your business that you're creating from each of those tasks that you wrote down, because you wrote down a bunch of tasks, right? You tracked your time and what you're spending your time on. You tracked your energy and what you're spending your energy on. So now you need to pay attention to what is the result that each of these time and energy expenditure moments are creating, okay? And then the sixth question, then you can ask yourself the sixth question, which is this result worth it for me? Because you might want to spend the time, you might not want to spend that level of time in your business. You might not want to spend that level of energy in your business. But you might realize, shoot, when I do spend the time and the energy, the result is actually worth it. So I need to figure out a better way to manage my time and energy. Maybe I need to cut something that's not worth it in order to dedicate time and energy to this thing. That will make this transition process from one-on-one coaching into group coaching so much easier, fam, because you're not now being inundated with information around strategy. You will actually know what creates results in your business. So if the strategy that you're seeing, if the information that you're getting around strategy is actually not aligned with what you know creates results in your business, then you just know, okay, we don't do that, right? That makes your no very, very easy. And it makes your yes very, very easy. And that's what you want. You want easy yeses and easy nos, which will make this whole transition going from one-on-one coaching to group coaching so much easier for you. You don't want to have to be overwhelmed and thinking too much. You want to know what's working, what you don't want, what's worth it, so that you can make some simple decisions about how to move forward once you see people whose strategies you might want to try, or you look at and get inspired by other people's messaging ideas, right? Like you want to know, oh shoot, that's a really cool messaging idea, but damn, I know that when I spend an hour writing an email, and that's what this is going to be. This is going to be like an email series. So I'm going to end up spending 5 hours on it. It's not going to go anywhere for me. So tell you what, let me not do that. I'm still going to write my emails, but I'm just not going to spend 5 hours trying to implement that strategy, right? Because I know it's just going to take too much time and it's not going to net the return that I'm looking for. Do you see what I'm saying here? Are you realizing how powerful this is? I really hope you are. All right. And so all of that to say, y'all, these are the 3 things that make it hard. All of the inundation of launch strategies that are out there, all of the messaging ideas that you could possibly implement, and being so close to your own messaging that you're really not sure what it is that you need to say in order for them to hear what they need to hear to make a buying decision, right? And maybe you think you're sure, but you're not sure because they're not buying. So you're like, okay, what's going on? Yeah, right. That makes it difficult. And then the third thing is just the harmonizing of energy that needs to happen at this point, now that you're at this new place in business. And so tracking your time, tracking your energy, tracking your results will really, really help to make your decision-making process, make your normalization process, make your process of choosing strategy, process of refining messaging. It'll just make everything a lot easier for you because you don't have to be so overwhelmed with your decision-making anymore. You don't have to wonder, right, about what messaging to try or this to try or that to try, because you know, and because you're looking at the data, right? If you do this, then you get that, right? And so then you've decided, okay, this is then worth it or not worth it. So maybe I need to try this different, okay? You're not stressing about your energy anymore. And it's not taking so much energy from you because you've already decided how much energy you want to expend or don't want to expend. You've already looked at what's worth it or not worth it for you, okay? So I hope this was helpful. I hope that you can now kind of see, like, not like really understand and be able to communicate as well why this is so difficult and what you can start to do to make it easier. I highly, highly recommend that you start tracking these things, that you go ahead and like literally just write up a spreadsheet and start looking into tracking these things, all right? Because it's going to help to make your process of transitioning so much easier. Now, if you're listening to me and you're like, ooh, Chelsea, this is so like powerful. This really, really resonates. I am not quite sure that I can track this for myself, or I need a coach helping me to track this and make some decisions around this. My messaging is really throwing me off. I'm not really sure if it's as powerful as it needs to be. I kind of feel like I know what launch strategy works, but there might be something else that I want to try. Like, you're just not feeling super confident, especially if you have launched your group program before and only hit like 25K in revenue and you haven't been able to go above that, right? If that's your situation, I want to welcome you to have a chat with me about maybe how we can work together to move you forward on that. Hey, Jessica, I hope you're well. Right, I want to invite you to have a talk with me about how we can work together to help you move forward on these things. Because if you're not confident in your strategy, if you're feeling like you might want to test something else out, if you're capped at 25K in revenue for your group program, there is room here for you to grow. Okay, there is room here for you to expand. There is room here for you to invest the time and the energy that you want to invest to get the results that you are looking for without this transition being so difficult. All right. So if that's you, if you want to at least just have a talk with me, just DM me the word launch. If you are on Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn, if you are on YouTube, all you have to do is click the link in my description box. It's right there, and fill out the form so that we can have a chat. All right. My DMs are open. You don't have to apply. Just DM me and we'll talk. DM me the word launch and we'll talk about where you're at and what's so difficult about this transition right now and how we can potentially move you forward. If you're a good fit for working with me, we can talk about that. If you're not a good fit, I will also tell you, because I have very, very specific qualifications for who's a good fit for working with me, because I want to be able to say to you, yes, I can get you those results. Okay. So I hope this was helpful for you all. I look forward to connecting with you in my DMs or hopping on a call with you and chatting some more about how I might be able to help you make this transition. If you have also had any questions from this live, feel free to send those to me as well, and we will talk. Have a great one, y'all. Thanks again for joining me. I'll see you back here tomorrow, actually, because I'm doing another live tomorrow. And if you want to vote on the topic, check my stories. All right. So I'll see you in DMs. Have a great one, everybody. Bye.